We all want to have great health, be in good shape, have loads of energy, and perform really well. But a lot of people focus on the wrong things when it comes to optimizing their health or fixing their health. They actually focus on the little things that don't matter when you've skipped the big thing, the fundamental thing that actually has a big contributor to your health. A lot of people focus on the fancy biohacking devices. They buy all the sleep trackers, they do the testing, they worry about herbs and supplements, and they do the sauna and the ice bath and all these little things that are often a lot easier than doing the one thing that actually matters a lot more, which is getting in shape, burning fat and building muscle. Now, you shouldn't worry about optimizing your health when your foundation is weak or not even developed, right? Your body composition is very important. There's a reason why people say get in shape. It's good for your health, right? It's not everything. I see a lot of people that are in much better shape than me. They've got shredded six-pack abs, but their health is terrible behind the scenes. They've got low energy, they've got brain fog, all this stuff. Like, they are just not feeling good and they're not really that healthy. Are they more healthy than the person who never exercises and works a shitty job and is very stressed? Sure, maybe, right? But that's not the only thing required. But when people ignore that, right, that's where the issue is, because you do need to be in good shape. You do need to have a good body composition. You don't have to be 6% body fat, but you should be around 15% body fat, lean muscle mass. You should be strong, have a high protein diet, right? That's going to contribute a lot more to your health than worrying about supplements and biohacking and all these fancy tests and that kind of thing, right? Now, there's plenty of research out there that shows that having higher muscle mass is much better for your metabolism, your hormones, your insulin, your longevity. You're way less likely to get diseases and conditions. And at the same time, having excess body fat will lead to pretty much the opposite of having higher muscle mass. You know, your hormones are going to get tanked, your insulin's going to be not sensitive, your metabolism's going to be cooked. You're way more likely to get sick and unhealthy and develop, terrible conditions and diseases. You don't need to be a scientist to know that when you have more muscle and less fat, you're going to be a lot healthier and feel a lot better. Right? A lot of people still think that it's just about looking good and it's just about aesthetics, but it is heavily tied to your health. Now, there's some people who come to me for help and they ask me about, optimizing or even peptides and taking steroids and that kind of thing. And I say, look, man, the first thing we need to do is get you in shape. That is the number one focus, the number one priority. If you're above 20% body fat, you're carrying a lot of excess body fat. Your BMI is through the roof, right? Which isn't like the one and only thing you look at, but you need to get in shape first. And then, along the way, you focus on improving your sleep, improving your gut health, cutting out the seed oils, doing these other optimizations maybe at the same time, but your main focus and the biggest, highest ROI is going to be from getting in shape, burning fat and building muscle. Now, at the same time, there can be some people who have serious issues with their gut health or they have serious issues with their sleep, and sure, that might be the main bottleneck. However, if you are out of shape, you need to get in shape no matter what. There is no way around it. You can't just biohack your way into feeling great, having a huge fat belly and being out of shape. Now, if you don't focus on this, you're going to keep wasting time on things that don't matter, that don't actually move the needle forward. It might feel like it does. It's very interesting. It's shiny object. There's a new supplement, a new test I can do, a new herb I can put with my tea or that kind of thing. It's not going to move the needle forward at all compared to actually getting in shape. And also in the long term, your energy is not going to be improved. Your hormones are going to be tanked and you're at a much higher risk of developing some kind of disease. Now, if you're somebody whose income depends on their performance, then this is something that will massively affect that. If your hormones aren't dialed in, your energy is not going to be dialed in, your performance is going to suffer, you're going to make less money. So get in shape, optimize your health. These are the things that are actually going to help you. Otherwise, you're going to keep doing more and getting nowhere because you're pretty much avoiding the one thing that actually is going to make a difference. And just like in business and in other things with our relationships, whatever, the one thing that we should do that's going to make the biggest difference is often the one that we have the most resistance over. But you build a system and you change your identity, you become someone who sees themselves as someone who is in shape and is healthy and looks after their health, then it will take care of itself. These things will happen. Now, if you want to learn how I get all of my clients in great shape, improve their energy levels, improve their performance, you can click the link in the description or message me the word health and I'll send you a free plan that explains this step-by-step system.